We start from the Ashanti region, where the mayor of Kumasi has ordered the demolition of a second building close to a story building that was pulled down at Asafo Market in Kumasi. He has also ordered a structural integrity test be conducted into the 5 other buildings sited on the Subing drain. Love FM's Erastus Asare Donko will join us briefly with more on this. But before that, a 3-story building around the Asafo interchange Wednesday afternoon was pulled down after it became obvious it was at the verge of collapse. Panicked traders quickly moved their wares out of the 5-year-old building, which houses 12 shops at one of the busiest locations in the capital. But the owner of the building says he suspects some unscrupulous people chiseled the pillars holding up the building. Erastus Asare Donko has more.
It's beneath the hole beneath the building after the one which is collapsing at the moment. Now there are allegations that the pillars were chiseled by unknown assailants, bringing the building down, and it follows some dispute with the some of the local chiefs, according to the building owner Fifi Daniel.
I myself was upstairs myself. We checked the whole top building about 1 hour. We didn't find anybody, to be honest. So it was getting to around 11 something. Then they gave me their number that I should take it in case of anything. I should alert them. So they all left, and I ordered all of the boys to go. For about a few minutes now, the reverend that is renting the 3rd floor and the area manager of this place too told me that he had been called that armed robbers has come here. So the 2 of them came after, and I'm saying no, it is not the armed robbers. But what I know is some people are upstairs. And I was thinking they have plotted, because nowadays I don't sleep one place, so I was scared. And they were saying no, maybe it will be a cat, and I'm saying no. All the 3 of us say it's not a cat. Once we were seeing them off, we heard the noise again, kum, kum, kum 5 times, and they all said, those people are still here, so lock it and let's go. Don't sleep here. So I took my bag together with the Togo people, and we left. We didn't reach VIP station, that's the Neoplan station. And the guys called me, boss, come. They are not at the upstairs, so they are down there breaking pillars. So quickly we rushed. When I was parking my car here, I saw this side flat, boom. So we were here, then we were all here hearing the noise. You see, there is a hole here saying, Yentem. So they were leading towards here, passing through the stream. So I told the police that we should enter, because all of them can escape here. They will escape around zoo. So we will catch them. They said they can't enter.
So we are here to check where indeed he is saying that the pillars were chiseled. But as you can see, it's a long stretch down here, and this is where many people sleep. And this is a tunnel. So as you can see down there, this is the assembly member for the area, and this is a tunnel on which all these buildings sit. And so that's where we're going to go inside the tunnel there, try to catch a glimpse of where the pillars were chiseled.
Yes, sir.
Wastewater from the washing bin.
Do you liaise with the departments to ensure the state of these buildings?
Yeah, in fact, we have been going around within the CBD to check weak structures. In fact, we couldn't even factor this one into it because this is pretty new. This has been a 5-year-old building, so we didn't capture this particular building. But the old ones that we have captured, they are in our books that we have written to the assembly that they should assess. And if there's any means that we have to demolish all of them. But with this, it wasn't part. It didn't even come to our mind to assess this one.
Well, Erastus Asare Donko joins me with more on this. Hello, good evening to you, Erastus. What more do you have on the claims of the owner of the building and city authorities?
Well, Araba, the owner of the building, as you heard him there, still stands by what he said, that the problem is not a structural problem, but rather at the foundation. He claims that there were 19 pillars and they've all been chiseled down, and that is what brought the building to that end. In fact, when the building was being pulled down, we saw that the excavator kept tamping at the frame, but it was not coming down at a point until it chipped away certain portions before it came down. He thinks that it goes to...
So that is what he's saying. But the mayor of Kumasi,
so that is what he's saying. But the mayor of Kumasi is also saying that they are going to investigate. Then came down. So currently, they've pulled it down. There is a second building, a one-story structure that was also pulled down as well, per the advice and the orders of the regional minister, the KMA boss, Osei Esibe Entry.
And Erastus, according to reports, the mayor has directed some other buildings to be pulled down. Bring us up to speed on that.
What you're seeing in your shot at the moment, that was the old building, the building itself, which was collapsing. That one has been pulled down as we speak. And then there was a second building, which was adjacent to this one. He ordered that that one should also be pulled down, so it has been pulled down. So was on the verge of collapse this morning, and then the adjoining one, which has been pulled down as well. Going forward, he's saying that he's going to subject the remaining 5-story structures on that stretch to some integrity test, structural integrity test. And after that, based on the report he will get, he will be advised accordingly as to whether to pull them down or to let them.
And we do understand that the Assembly was carrying out some demolitions today. Are they done with all the demolitions?
Alluding to the fact that all the building on that stretch from the Asafo interchange towards the central market do not have building permits. And he thinks that they should be pulled down. We can take a listen to him now.
Okay, unfortunately, we don't have that now. But thank you very much. Erastus Asare Donko is with our sister station, Love FM in Kumasi, bringing us up to date on that collapsed building there. Now, the Inspector General of Police is unimpressed with Ghana's efforts, especially corporate Ghana, in fighting cybercrime, which has become one of the commonest and prevalent crimes in the country. David Asante Apietu observes many institutions in the country are either not ready or do not have the capacity to identify and detect cybercrime-related incidents. Speaking at the inauguration of a digital forensic laboratory, the collaboration between the KNUST and the E-Crime Bureau, the IGP wants investments in technology to fight cybersecurity to guarantee the nation's security.
Now on cybercrime and DNO insurance saw a section of industry players deliberate on best ways of repositioning themselves to fight off threats posed by cybercrime in Ghana's insurance industry. A new insurance package called Allianz Cyber Protect Premium is an initiative by Allianz Ghana and Midas Insurance Brokers aimed at providing clients with insurance covers against threats.
And we will be bringing you the IGP soundbite much later. But right now, we're taking a short break. Stay tuned. There's more news ahead. Now, the coordinator of the Karagat District Office of the Youth Employment Agency has taken refuge in the northern regional capital, Tamale, following attacks on him by some youth of the New Patriotic Party in the town. They accuse him of discrimination in recruitment into the agency. The offices of the district chief executive officer was also shut down, whilst a motorbike belonging to the YEA coordinator was set on fire early Wednesday morning. According to the youth, the constituency chairman and the youth group were sidelined during the recruitment exercise. Here is constituency secretary Abdullahi Ziblim.
And the problem is that since they have appointed the DCE, the DCE vowed not to work with the chairman. So after now, what happened yesterday was that youth employment coordinator, they start to select police from Zoom police. So he appointed them. He sent them to a training without the notice of the chairman. So chairman called him to come so that you ask him why is he doing those things with that consultant, because he is not the only person. He has also got certain people who he can put into the police, community policing. As at now, and he called him, come and we'll sit down and talk about it. And he refused to come. And what happened was that he started standing somewhere insulting the chairman. So everything got to the chairman. Now the youth are saying that they will not sit down to look at this and it is going wayward. They will not accept, because everybody suffered for the party to come into power. You understand? So the youth said, okay, as at now, we will not allow the youth coordinator to be doing what he wants to do. So yesterday, the youth coordinator went to hospital. So chairman too also went to district assembly office to ask him, to sit with him and then ask him why he's doing that. So when he went, chairman went, he was not there. They called him and told him that he has gone to hospital. So chairman said, okay, no problem. I will go to the hospital and then ask him why those things is going on without his consultation. So he went to the hospital. Then the youth went and then took the motor. When they took the motor, they brought it, and then finally it landed in police station. Now they started beating each other. The side by side, they started beating each other there. So the police collected the motor and then they kept it there. Finally, yesterday, in the night around 12 o'clock, the DCE went and then organized soldiers to come and arrest certain people. So they went and arrested about 2. They counted them 3. They arrested 2. The other one, they couldn't get him. So they couldn't get him. Then the youth said, no, we will not allow. We have never seen a soldier arresting somebody around 12 o'clock, getting to 1. We will not accept. They resist. So they even, the soldiers, they didn't inform even the commander of the police in Karga district.
Now let's still stay in Tamale, because earlier today, more than half of assembly members with voting rights of the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly signed a petition seeking a vote of no confidence against the Tamale Mayor, Musa Superior, and they accuse him of frosty relationships between themselves and him. We're joined on the line now by presiding member of the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly, Abu Takaro. Mr. Abu Takaro, many thanks for your time. Good evening.
Thank you, my sister. The name again is Abu Takoro. Takoro is Takor. R-O.
Thank you very much for the correction. Now,
yes,
the members have made several allegations against the mayor and they want him impeached. First of all, have their concerns come to your attention?
Yes. Today, in fact, immediately after we closed from our third ordinary section today, Immediately after the meeting, I was called to a chamber to receive a petition with regards to that impeachment. Yes, I received it.
So if they're raising several issues, they say that they accuse the mayor of frosty relations and that he is not available to attend to their needs when they want to see him. Are these some of the concerns that have come to your attention?
That the mayor is not available to attend to their needs. In fact, the concerns that I've received, the allegation that are leveled against the mayor, this is not part of the allegation.
So
yes.
What is contained in the petition? What do they want done? What are they accusing the mayor of?
My sister, I think those who have petitioned have the right to tell you what they have petitioned for. I can only tell you that I've received the petition, and I can also go on to tell you the process. But they have raised a number of issues, and I will be able to make the allegation available to your ends unless tomorrow, when I sit with my coordination director.
Mr. Presiding Member, we actually have intercepted a copy of the petition, and what we do know that the Assembly members are accusing the mayor of is, one, awarding contracts without due process and disregarding and disrespecting Assembly members.
That's
also
right.
Taking and acting on serious issues without the prior approval of the Assembly. That's another allegation against him. And lying to and withholding information from Assembly members and the good people of the Tamale Metropolis. There's a tall list, but these are some of the issues or the allegations and claims they make against
what
him.
You have raised, the allegation that you have raised is contained in what I'm also having currently. But the initial allegation that you have mentioned that they said he is not available when they need him to attend to their needs. That one is not part of the allegations raised.
Okay. Well, I mentioned that earlier because our reporter had spoken to some of the Assembly members, and this is what they had, articulated to him.
Another issue. You see, he has spoken to some of the Assembly members, and they have raised that one, and it's not part of the allegation here. So the Assembly members, I would advise them to be consistent, because what you are petitioning, every Assembly member who has signed this should know that I'm petitioning the mayor because of this 1, 2, 3. But if they call them and they tell different things, this will tell you the contents of the petition. Yes.
For your time, and that was Abu Takaro. He's a presiding member of the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly. Let's go back to our earlier story. Listen to the coordinator of the Youth Employment Agency, Baba Janga, who tells Joy News only those qualified were recruited during the exercise. He narrated the incident which occurred in Karaga to Joy News.
I left because of my life. After called me and say, "Youth, they are taking our motor away." All of a sudden, I saw the chairman in front of me, and he told me that he ordered them to pick the motor away.
You mean the constituency chairman? The
constituency chairman. I saw him personal. Then I said, well, because I'm in the hospital, I'm attending for I'm assisting a patient, and that patient isn't a party member. And this is not the first time they attack me at the hospital. And it is not the first time they attack me in my house. It's getting about 20 times. Police station, they pick the motor and send it to the police station. In the evening, those guys were picked to the police station. So when they pick them, the constituency man lead the boys to the police station to free the two boys and bring out and brought out the motor and set it ablaze. And the purpose that I recruited community police without informing him, which is culpable, which is not true.
They are saying that you recruited people outside of the MPP. That is their main issue.
They are not even saying that outside. They are saying that they are villagers. Those I pick are recruited are villagers. That I even recruited in my own hometown soon about 17 people, which is not true. Those are recruited. They are our party members. I can mention each town, each name, and nobody in the constituency can contest it.
So why are they now arguing that the people you've recruited are not members of the MPP?
I know the constituency more than anybody. The issue is that, youth employment before you get job in youth employment, you have to go through the necessary channel. You have to apply. So although if even my brother, if I can't help my brother if he doesn't apply. So all those who apply, we scrutinize the form and took those who are the right people to be picked. So that is the issue.
So you are saying that there is no discrimination as far as the employment process is concerned?
I've not look. When we started the process, the people I supposed to recruit was 18. That was a location given to the constituency.
So for now,
I managed and talked to my boss at Northern Region Assessment and then Prof. They assisted me to get the number up to 26.
Do you have any plans of returning to Karaga?
Yes. I can't leave Karaga. Karaga is my hometown.
But do you fear for your life?
I fear for my life because of the actions of the chairman. This chairman never wants to cooperate with anybody apart from the one he wants to be the DC or the one he wants to lead the party. You know, we started with Sharawi, Bashir Sharawi. He said we will work with him. Bashir Sharawi unfortunately had an accident. He resigned peaceful. We got another candidate, Afasule. He said we can work with him. I told you that this is not the first time they attacked me. It's not the second time. It's not the third time.
And so that was the Karaga coordinator of the YEA speaking there with my colleague Elton Broby. Now we're joined on the line by Northern Regional correspondent Hashmin Mohammed. Hashmin, earlier today we were given the impression that the situation in Karaga was volatile, especially after the youth stormed the police station to free their colleagues. So tell us, what's the situation currently in the town and what has been the police's response to this?
Well, Rabba, there's calm now, and then the police in Tamale have deployed more men to the Karaga district. I understand they have in the district capital, and they are supposed to station there to maintain law and order. And tomorrow they will make effort just to open the office for the YEA coordinator, that is the Youth Employment Agency coordinator, to have.
All right, so that is a parliamentary, I beg your pardon, that is our Northern Regional correspondent, Hashmin Mohammed, with that update. Unfortunately, we lost him on the line. Now, Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, has directed Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee to investigate the allegation of unfair treatment meted out to Ghanaian visa applicants at various embassies. MP for North Tongu, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, Wednesday made a statement on the floor of the House citing lack of decent waiting areas, huge charges as application fees, and clear guidelines, among others, as challenges Ghanaians face when they put in applications. There's more in the following report by Joseph Akable.
Wednesday's parliamentary proceedings was one of those rare moments when MPs on both sides of the House, with one voice, made a demand on the Speaker for his intervention. It all started with a statement made by North Tongu MP on the matter. He bemoaned what he called the humanizing treatment Ghanaians go through when acquiring visas.
The sad reality is that in many instances, despite the fact that applicants pay through the nose, the embassies who charge all these extra fees do not keep their side of the bargain, while these vulnerable visa applicants are made to keep paying for the inefficiency and unreliability of the embassies.
Parliamentarians on both sides of the House then had their turn to contribute to the statement. They were unanimous in the call for the Speaker's intervention. Minority Leader Haruna Idris, while supporting the call, cautioned MPs not to abuse privilege given them in visa application.
Mr. Speaker, I want to applaud him for the able manner in which he has made this statement and to express the sadness that I feel that our fellow Ghanaians are being treated in the manner in which he has outlined in his statement. Mr. Speaker, the statement outlines treatment of fellow Ghanaians that goes to the heart of human dignity. And Mr. Speaker, whether we are dealing with domestic law or international law, the issue of the dignity of the individual is critical. It is equally good and equitable that having paid a non-refundable visa fee, it will be given a modicum of comfort whilst you wait for your turn to be processed.
Mr. Speaker, even members of parliament, you have a decent job. You have a job of a member of parliament. Speaker, again, our Minister for Foreign Affairs, where is the privilege of the member of parliament? But to MPs to whom much is given, much is expected. We should stop the abuses of the processes. We should. What is hope? We should. Members of parliament must stop the abuses of the privilege and processes so that they will treat us with honor.
Speaker Professor Okoye stated that Parliament will not hesitate to look into any matter once it considers it necessary and directed the Foreign Affairs Committee to act.
Armed with a letter from the Speaker's office, they shall visit relevant embassies and places, analyze the problem, where necessary cooperation of embassy staff and our own foreign office, but independent of it, and report to the House. And I want to emphasize, we shall always have to cooperate with appropriate ministries and agencies, but Parliament will not abandon its inquisitorial role of inquiring into matters that touch, concern, and affect Ghanaians.
The Foreign Affairs Minister Shirley Ayoko-Botchwey is expected on Thursday to answer questions on measures government is putting in place to prevent non-Ghanaians from acquiring passports.
This is Joy News Prime. We're taking a short break, but still ahead, we will continue our series on the NDC Kwesi Botchwey report as some top party executives allegedly sold date and registration forms to parliamentary candidates for tidy sums of money, and more on the team's lack of strategic communication. But up next is business.
Hello, good evening to you. Welcome to Business. Now, Ghana and Egypt have signed a bilateral agreement which will see to the development of the human resource base of each other's aviation industries. Egypt's national carrier, Egypt Air, currently has 79 aircraft flying in 79 destinations in 53 countries, making it one of the prominent players in Africa's aviation sector. Speaking at the sidelines of the ongoing Africa Air Show, the Minister of Aviation, Honorable Cecilia Dapaah, said a delegation will soon be visiting Egypt to further the agreement.
The bilateral agreement was entered into at the first Aerospace and Aviation Exhibition and Conference dubbed the African Air Show. According to the Minister for Aviation, Cecilia Dapaah, the agreement will offer a lot of opportunities for the local aviation industry.
The first day we had bilateral talks with the Egyptian aviation minister, and a lot of goodies are going to roll out of that collaboration. They are going to partner us in training. They have a good school for training pilots and crew. They are also good in, they have simulators for pilots, so they are very well equipped to help us. And apart from that, they have other affiliate businesses that we discussed, like executive jet business, like helicopter business. I call it air taxi. So we are on course, yes. Very soon a delegation will go there to view. And the most interesting thing they said was they have managed to build smaller airports with indigenous material. That one I would personally want to have a look. That cuts down the cost of building airports by maybe, if I'm not exaggerating, about 60%. And this is what we need to open up Ghana.
Well, the African Air Show was officially opened today by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana. In his opening speech, he expressed immense appreciation for all patrons and exhibitors of this airfair. Now, this airfair was not just held to put Ghana at the forefront of aviation in Africa, but also to open up investment opportunities to ensure the continuous growth of air travel in Ghana and Africa as a whole. This has yielded some good results, as we saw the Minister for Transport for Niger pay a courtesy visit to the Aviation Minister, Honorable Cecilia Dapaah, at this particular air show.
Niger's Senior Minister for Transport, Omar Hamidou Chiana, has expressed the need for private sector participation in developing Africa's aviation industry.
African ministers, we are committed to develop aviation in Africa because
if aviation is developed, you can do business, you can do tourism, you can do many other issues. So we are committed to develop aviation in Africa. First of all, I think we need private sector to get interested in aviation. As you know, aviation uses too much resources, and we need private sector resources. Public resources is not sufficient to develop aviation in Africa. As you see in UA countries, Europe, most of them are developed by private sector. So we need the commitment of African private sector to get involved in the development of African aviation.
Meanwhile, competition in the domestic aviation industry is expected to deepen further following the licensing of Black Stars captain BabyJet Airlines. The airline is set to begin operations in the months ahead after the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority granted the carrier license. President Akufo-Addo disclosed this at the official opening of the 3-day Maiden African Air Show ongoing at the Kotoka International Airport. According to him, this is part of initiatives to grow the aviation industry to benefit the economy.
Through the Ministry of Aviation is renewing initial bilateral air services agreements with its contracting states. This has led to Africa World Airline, AWA, a domestic airline, now flying daily to Abuja and Lagos. Additionally, the number of international airlines operating in the country has increased marginally from 35 to 37 this year. These additions are Air France and Mid-Africa Aviation, an airline based in the Gambia. Other domestic airlines will hopefully follow suit soon. I've been reliably informed that the captain of our senior national football team, the Black Stars at Samoa, BabyJet, has obtained an air carrier license and is working feverishly to establish an airline, obviously called BabyJet Airlines. I want to appeal to other Ghanaians, both home and abroad, to invest in the rapidly growing aviation sector. It is worth mentioning that the record upsurge in the number of airlines and passengers, both domestically and internationally, has contributed significantly to the Ghanaian economy. These achievements did not happen overnight, but for the effort of the Ministry of Aviation and its agencies, namely the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, the Ghana Airports Company Limited, and other stakeholders in the aviation industry.
And away from aviation, some players in the insurance sector are coming together with some insurance packages aimed at reducing risks caused by cybercrime. This was made known at a seminar in Accra organized to raise awareness over the impact of cybercrime on the insurance sector. It was organized by Allianz Ghana. Here's more in this report.
The seminar on cybercrime and D&O insurance saw a section of industry players deliberate on best ways of repositioning themselves to fight off threats posed by cybercrime in Ghana's insurance industry. A new insurance package called Allianz Cyber Protect Premium is an initiative by Allianz Ghana and Midas Insurance Brokers aimed at providing clients with insurance covers against threats of cyber attacks. Martin Amoa is the managing director of Allianz Ghana.
Cyber threats to corporate economic security are increasing in frequency, complexity, and also the magnitude. Their attempts to mislead or compromise automated systems will certainly cripple, disrupt, and damage critical infrastructure as well as corporate security networks. Also, the range of cyber threat actors and their methods of attack, as well as the victims they target, are expanding in an alarming proportion. Companies and institutions are becoming increasingly aware of the vulnerabilities they face as they strive to leverage on technology to innovate and drive competition in their favor. It has been said that amongst all business and corporate disruptions we have witnessed in recent past,
On his part, COO of Midas Insurance Brokers, Erica Dumensa, decried the declining rates of preparedness by the insurance sector on the menace of cybercrime. He argues now is the time for the sector to come together in the wake of this development.
Insurance companies have not actually come up with any policies on cybersecurity. The only one that has actually a policy is Allianz, and that is why we have partnered with Allianz to make sure that we can bring the message to the financial sector so that people can understand that there is a solution to the problem that we're facing today.
The conference has seen insurance players expressing commitments to liaise with government on ways of coming up with a special national insurance package on cybercrime.
The producer price inflation rate for the month of September has increased from 6.6% in August to 7.6% in September. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, the major drivers for this increase were the mining and quarrying subsector and the manufacturing subsector. Acting government statistician Ban Wadie explains what this means to the economy.
The year-on-year inflation from the producer's perspective for all industry was 7.6% in September 2017. This rate is 1.0 percentage points higher than the rate recorded in August 2017. The monthly change rate for September 2017 was 1.8%. It is the result of increases in the inflation rate in the mining and quarrying subsector and the manufacturing subsector. So generally these are the areas where the increase has emanated from. Then for the manufacturing subsector, the increase of 7.5% in August to 8.5% in September was mainly the result of the following. One, the producer inflation rate for the petroleum subsector increased from 23.2% in August to 29.7% in September. And this was the result of increases in petroleum prices in August 2017. And because the sector accounts for more than 20% of the manufacturing weight, this actually impacted on the inflation rate that we observed, the increase in the inflation rate that we observed first for the manufacturing and then for the overall industry inflation rate.
And that's all by way of business tonight. Many thanks for watching. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji Riafe. For more business news, log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Have a good evening.
Now, spare parts dealers at the Abossey-Okai market here in Accra have called on the leadership of the Ghana Revenue Authority to check activities of its revenue collection officers, who they suspect are squandering some of their monies. Speaking to Joy News, the spare part dealers accuse the revenue collectors of demanding huge sums of money, which they say are unaccounted for. The traders are also unhappy about what they describe as too much drama accompanying the GRA team whenever they visit the market to collect tax.
GRA no maba omo the police for two the omo ko say police for say the en case omo two but as a omo be hu so when trace kana
the GRA came here yesterday with 2 armed men. It is really intimidating. When they do this, it just shows us that they might hurt us if we refuse to pay. Just yesterday, I was asked to pay 1,000 Ghana cedis, but I opted to pay 750 because I didn't have enough money. The tax collector wrote 700 on my receipt, telling me I'll pay 250 the next time.
50 no, so next I'll buy 250 now.
Internal revenue there before say omeba say e bia bosome ana 1 year obetua say no omo no betena so ahwe adwuma wo ye no ansa na omo atwa price amo but we dey amanesa dey hu ansa letter ba say we say full year no ye 1,000 Ghana
I know that the GRA is supposed to look at your income before they bill you. However, these people just bring us a letter telling us to pay 1,000 Ghana cedis like that. They come here with padlocks and intimidate us.
Any atnas bibi on may be an so bien to make us a my intia, bibi ma by an assay tax. And the Ibetia, but also money a bibia, or many atnas, send away a chair who chess cabia mobia, wound you and I say, why do Munya when I say, Scammy, and I say, who Ninta who chess as can.
But the financial secretary for the Abosoka Spare Parts Dealers Association, Nana Kwabena Pepra, says the leadership of the group will soon meet with the Ghana Revenue Authority to find a more beneficial way of collecting the tax.
To pay our taxes, but the way to go about it should be a very cordial way between us as an association and then the Revenue Authority. This year has not been a good year for trading. As you are sitting down here, you sit down from morning to evening without even attending to one customer. So the tax is income tax. Where is the income I'm getting? So where is the tax I should pay? But you know, I've been always advising these tax collectors that the easier way to make the tax easy for all traders to pay is cover everybody. They should try to make some of their incomes available to various organizations like the associations, so that we can use those monies to organize their best. At least, even if we as people in Abosoka, we organize at least about 4 or 5 debates in a year, mainly on our obligations or our duties to pay taxes, or to let the people know how important our paying taxes, because I know it's those monies they are using to develop this nation. It will be better than to wait till when they need the money, then they come to the market and then enforce the law.
Now, 2 Ga chiefs have been inducted separately in the Ga state, but a third claimant to the throne Wednesday escaped violent attacks as handlers were forced to lock him up in a room for his own safety. That was the only way out when Max Men stormed a news conference at Abola Piamwe to announce the installation of yet another Ga Manche. The dispute that has raged for 13 years covers the quest to install a successor to Niamugi as Ga Manche since his demise. Joy News' Matilda Vemaga was at a news conference that was disrupted, leading to some commotion.
The 4 masked men stormed the Abola Piamwe during an ongoing press conference to raise concerns over the legitimacy of the 2 Ga Manche who were installed within 1 week. What triggered the attack and who sanctioned these young men to cause the commotion remains unknown. The masked men threw bottles into the audience to scatter what was supposed to be a peaceful meeting, leaving some people injured whilst we ran to safety.
Let's go. Oh.
Let's go. It took the timely intervention of the police to bring the situation under control. 4 leaders in the area were whisked away by the police. Superintendent Kwesi Fori has been explaining why.
And we've managed to end the street fight. We're now engaging them to see the need to promote peace in this very community. And we've also successfully escorted one of the leaders out here, to his home. So you can see that the tension has minimized. But the police will be here to stabilize the situation and make sure that security situation in this community improves. Well, for now, there is a need to go into it. But it has something to do with traditional matters. But we will not tell that story. We will leave it for them to tell their story. As law enforcement officers, it's our duty to deal with security-related issues, for which we are doing now.
I see some 3 men were whisked away. Who are these men and why have they been arrested?
Oh, they've not been arrested. They are leaders, in this drama. So for their own safety, we have to take them out. We've escorted them out here.
Okay, all right. So what is this? Is the police going to be stationed here?
Yes, already we have a stationary force. But this conflict overwhelmed them. That's why we're invited in. We will assist the stationary force here to make sure that we stabilize security situation in the community.
There was uneasy calm at Gamashi as at the time Joy News was leaving the area. For Joy News, Matilda Promaga, Gamashi, Accra.
Meanwhile, the press conference, which was organized by the new claimant to the gas tool, Ni Taki Obli from Abola Piamwe, one of the 4 ruling royal houses, to announce his intentions. Listen to him.
So it's the case of 1 land, 2 lords. But in the coming days, expect to see another lord. I mean, a new Gamanche. Just last week, Ni Adamalache was recognized by the Regional House of Chiefs as the Gamanche, as the legitimate Gamanche. Just 2 days ago, Ni Tekochu II was also recognized by the Traditional Council as the legitimate Gamanche. In the coming days, expect to see another Gamanche. We are here to find out.
It is the turn of Abola Piamwe to ascend the Ga throne since 2004 after the demise of Boni King Ni Amugi of blessed memory. The succession has said that we have Teko Churuwe, we have Taki Komewe, we have Amugi Way, and then we have Abola Piamwe. Immediately after the demise of Amugi, who was from Amugi Way, then automatically it had to go to Abola Piamwe. However, we've seen that some people do not want Abola Piamwe to even exist, so that they can usurp the authority of Abola Piamwe and install Gamanche. We had Joe Blankson as Gamanche. From where? Teko Churuwe, Gantro.
And from what you are saying, that it's your turn, but you have been bypassed.
That is what I'm saying. He said that it is the turn of Abola Piamwe. I don't know why he said that. But the truth doesn't want to come out. The truth will come out. We will install a Gamanche in the coming days.
When you say installed, who are you going to install? They're supposed to follow a particular order. Have you done that?
No, we have done that a long time ago, even before Joe Blankson was installed as Gamanche. We've had Ni Taki Obli II since 2004. He has gone through all the customary processes. It is just left for the Gajaseche to introduce him to the world as the Gamanche. And because maybe we...
Now, the divisional commander of the Asinfosu police says his outfit is yet to arrest the suspect alleged to have defiled a 4-year-old girl. The police say the father of the victim, Isaac Kofi, who first reported the matter, has not returned to the station to lead them to the suspect. Mother of the victim, Monica Nyako, is calling for justice after a chief in the community allegedly told her action cannot be taken because the community guards have exonerated the suspect. Divisional Police Commander at Asinfosu, Chief Superintendent Henry Bacho, has been speaking to Joy News.
We wanted her to be okay before we move on it, and the father who identified the victim for us for him to lead us. And since they were discharged, the father was nowhere to be found. We said after the discharge of the girl.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. You said you can't investigate until the child is cured.
No.
And discharged from hospital. Don't put words
into my mouth. I didn't say that. I said when she is discharged from the hospital, she should come and then, as I said, locate the victim.
Did the child not name any suspects while she was in hospital when the police went to visit? And what did you do about it?
Town and look for Kobina. She described all those things at the hospital.
And the police weren't able to act on it?
We don't know the village step. They you go to the village and start looking for Kobina. We get. That is why we wanted the father who knows the suspect to lead us.
Did you actually go there and try to find this person based on the information given you?
Please, the problem is, if you come and tell me that Accra, Kobina is in Accra, where part of Accra am I going?
Let's be clear, this is not Accra, this is a village.
It's a village.
Yes, so let's not compare it to Accra.
So, you know the village life. Can you go to a village and just say, please, I'm looking for Kobina?
So did you?
We have to use intelligence, and the intelligence will pick it from the complainant. Because which victim is a small girl. It's the father who lead us. This small girl, 5 years.
So it's the father that you need to lead you to the culprit.
Yes.
The father was not hospitalized. The father was in your police station.
Mr. Who is it, Kojo?
Yes, Kojo.
The problem is he's the one with the child at the hospital. Can she leave the child? He didn't come with any woman. He came with the child alone.
Did you speak to the mother?
There was no mother around.
The mother is the one looking after the child. Our journalist met the mother at the hospital with the child. Not the father, the mother.
Then you are giving me different information altogether. The man who came and made the complaint is the one we know as the complainant. You understand? We follow to the place, issue medical form, and give instructions. When she's discharged, come to the police station. She has discharged, nobody has come to report anything.
Now, this latest incident has reignited the conversation on sexual abuse of women and especially children. Some groups and individuals are also extending support for the abused children, the 4-year-old child, I beg your pardon. Joining me on Skype is US-based filmmaker Leila Jansi from California. Good evening and many thanks for your time.
Hi, good evening to you guys.
Okay, first of all, what do you make of the police officer's comments that the father of the victim did not come to lead them to the perpetrator?
I think he's reluctant to do his job. He's completely reluctant because he's offering all these excuses which do not make any sense. What does the child's discharge got following up? I mean, if the child identified a Kobina, that Kobina should be somebody that's know the family. So you ask the mom, you ask the dad, do you know Kobina? You ask the 8-year-old sister, do you know Kobina? And then you follow up on that. But he probably has received some money and from the gods, I don't know, and he's reluctant. That's what it sounds like.
I mean, when this issue came out, there's been widespread condemnation of it and the slow response by the state agencies, particularly the police, as well as even the Gender Ministry and Social Welfare. What are your thoughts on how this issue is being handled by the state agencies?
I think we've become desensitized when it comes to the lower class. If this little girl were maybe a student of Lincoln, you would see a completely different reaction from people in position. But she's a little girl in a village, and we're desensitized to these kind of things, and there is nothing to gain from it. There's no traction, there's no mileage that we can tap from it, so we do not care. And that is where we appreciate social media and, you know, people who can use their voices to care for the people that the people who should care do not care about.
And you are offering some help for this family. What exactly do you want to do for them?
She's going to need medical attention. I spoke with a journalist, Maxwell, who broke the news a couple of hours ago, and I asked about her, the little girl, and apparently she's still having abdominal pains. I spoke to my sister, who's a doctor, who's willing to take up taking care of her. I spoke to my mom, who is a medical specialist herself, who is willing to come in and help out. So what we want to do is raise some money. We will match, my friends and I will match whatever we raise on social media. And she's probably going to need reconstructive surgery. She's 4 years old. I mean, I do not know how anybody would want to penetrate a 4-year-old girl. It's It's ridiculous. And we do not know how much damage is going on inside her right now. So we want to get her to Accra. We want to get her to a gynecologist, have them look critically at her and see what the next steps are. Because if nothing is done right now, that infection that she has, which she obviously has, it's going to mar her life for the rest of it.
And finally, I mean, you're a social advocate of some sort. How do you think we can pile pressure on the authorities to get this situation resolved and get justice for the young girl?
To be honest with you, we all have an idea of right and wrong. We all have an idea of our positions and what the requirements of our positions are. And if people are not doing their job because they do not have anything to benefit from it, I do not know how to tell a police officer to do his job. You're getting a paycheck, that's enough. You have a conscience, that's enough. I do not know how to tell a gender minister to do her job. You are voted, you are appointed, voting aid, whatever it is. I do not know how to tell them to do their job. I'm only going to do what I am capable of doing with the support of my friends. We will do what if we want to always give the job to these people, nothing is going to happen. So we ignore them. We're government too. We have a voice too. We are the people. We the people. So we do it ourselves. Whatever we can do, we should do it.
Good point there. Good point there. But finally, I did say final, but this is my final question. You are based in the U.S. How would the authorities have addressed this sort of problem if it had come up in that country?
It's very swift because you have social services. If that child is taken to the hospital, social services is there, and that's the very first thing that happens. She's properly taken care of medically. Insurance covers all of that. Social services covers it. There are departments that the parents would go to, and those departments cover the medical expenses of the surgery and whatever. They are attorneys who are dedicated to seeking justice for cases like that. My cousin patient, she's one of such attorneys here in Los Angeles. She's in family law, and that's what she does. They take care of these situations, and they bring the culprits to book. But unfortunately, I do not know whether we have social services in Ghana, because by now, social services should be doing what Na Oyo and I are doing. And the Pepperdam Ministries, social services should be doing what we're doing, reaching out to the girl, getting an attorney involved, and seeking funds to take. I mean, her surgery should even be an issue for the state. But this is what we find ourselves, unfortunately.
All right. Thank you so much for your help, and thank you for joining us on Prime News. Leila Jansi is a U.S.-based Ghanaian filmmaker there. And you heard her talk about Pepperdam Ministries. It's a group of feminists, and now they're using social media to call for women empowerment, and they've pledged their support for the abused girl as well.
I mean, I personally haven't seen any statement issued by the gender ministry. I haven't. If there is out there, I'm yet to see it. But I think that all that has been happening at the moment has been social media commentaries. And this is the point where I want to raise attention to people who think that social media awareness and commentaries don't go anywhere. First of all, today, this afternoon, we last night as Pepperdam Ministries issued a statement about it. Today, we have put together call lines to the gender ministry, email. We've put out their email address, their phone number, their fax number, and encouraging everybody to storm and email or reach out to the contacts to let them know that we are so angry about this and we want to see action. So if they're not going to make the first call, we have taken the initiative and we've posted it out there, and we've seen reports. People have shown us screenshots of emails and calls and messages that they've left to these numbers to let them know how pressing this issue is. Secondly, we as Pepperdam Ministries have also on Friday, we've arranged on Friday, we are planning at the moment to go on the ground to Asin, to go also either, if possible, meet the girl, her parents, and then just in general get on the ground and be abreast and updated on the issue, these kind of stories that have come up in the area. And
there are instances when the police, can go ahead and, press charges. And I think that all Ghanaians are in line with that. It's very important for the police or state institutions to get the gendered aspect of things, because as a society we are made up of males and females, and I know that the people before us, as in gender activists before us, pressed to set up DOVSU, the gender unit in the police. And so I am also hoping that they will take this issue very importantly, because it is a charge that others have really pressed for them to even, be set up.